Welcome to Whiskey Whistle. I'm your host, Mark. We're looking at Teacher's Highland Cream today. 103 was the current version. Well, actually, the let's say last year's version. They've updated it, I believe, for the current year. And this one we're going to be doing today, which is I think from the 80s, maybe the early 90s. This is Teacher's Blended Scotch Whiskey. Teacher's Highland Cream. This is the old version. And what does it say on here? It says Teacher's Highland Cream, trademark, established 1830, perfection of old Scotch whiskey, WM Teacher and Sons Limited, Glasgow, Scotland, and bottled in Scotland. Okay, so it's interesting. It says that right there. 5 centiliters, 50 milliliters, 43% ABV. So that's interesting. It's 43. This is 40. Also, this lists milliliters and not ounces. So this was definitely not sent to USA. Okay, so let's get it cracked open. If you're curious about the history of Teacher's Highland Cream, have a look at Whiskey Review number 103. Okay, and I've got my Kilt Lifter Scotch Club Glencairn at the ready here. Can you see that? I've put a light down here to hopefully help the view of the whiskeys. Let's get that poured. And we'll just do half. That's not quite half. There. Okay. What a light color. This is a light straw. Well, let's just say it's the color of straw. So I've got the current version, or almost the current version. So I don't know if you can see the difference there. Yeah, that's quite a big difference. This is practically, I would say, has no color added. Now, that's not to say that this does. Okay, so there may be some stronger, newer, more active cask wood management going on here, giving it a nice golden shade for the new one. Okay, we'll set that aside though, so we don't get confused. All right, and well, I don't think we need to really spend a whole lot of time waiting for this one to open up, so we'll just get right into it. Now, by the way, the fill level was very nice on this one. The seal was good. Now I'll have a little shout out to Ben Bowers, A Dram a Day. And now I think I've given him a shout out before, but anyway, he's doing a whiskey a day for 366 days and raising money for a good cause. So have a look at that. A Dram a Day, ADRAM, a Dram, ADAY, ADRAM, ADAY, a Dram a Day. Okay, and he often gets lots of old miniatures, and he mentions the fill level. And so when I bought this, I checked the fill level. By the way, I paid 12,000 Korean won for this. I live here in Seoul, and anyway, so I found that and paid 12,000 won for that. So that's a little expensive. I think maybe I got a 1,000 won discount, but okay. Before we nose it, we'll have a very short advertisement right here. Welcome back. This is Teacher's Blended Highland Cream, the old version, and I'm guessing again this is probably from the 80s or 90s. Boy, this has a lot more kind of a liniment nose to it. A lot more lemony as well. So maybe limonant. Did I get that right? Some vanilla. Old books in there too. Not much peat. It's a little bit there, but not too much. This is interesting. Totally different. I have a feeling that there is some well-aged grain whiskey in this one. And maybe a lot of sherry aged single malt as well. Why would that be? Well, that would be because teachers used to own the Glendronach distillery. Interesting. Now, just side by side here. Peat, apples, caramel. This one, vanilla, some dried fruits, and this liniment and lemon kind of a flavor scent. I haven't tasted it yet. Okay. Anyway, very interesting. I think that's going to need a little bit of water to really bring it out. Okay, let's check the palate now. Cheers, all. Yes, a lot of sherry is going on here. A little bit of peat. The palate has about the same, roughly the same amount of peat as this does, but I'm not getting it on the nose so much. And a little bit of licorice left in there, so there is some relation here. So it definitely has some of the Ardmore. I think a lot less. Now it's probably got a lot more Ardmore. It likely also still has some Glendronach in it, since that was part of the original blend, and they don't want to mess with the recipe. Okay, but we can say that it's probably a little more of the Ardmore now, and a little bit less of the Glendronach as it had been before. Let's try that again. It's like a sherried version of this. And that's really rounding things out, adding more complexity. The finish has a little bit of nuttiness to it. Now, I've never tasted this before, so these are all just off the cuff tasting notes. So bear with me. Let's try that one more time. Very nice combination of peat and sherry. A little bit of cherry in there in the finish, as well as a bit of chocolate. The licorice is still there at the front of the tongue. And anyway, quite nice. Let's add just a little bit of water, not too much. Maybe just a drop more. Come on, there. Okay, so about, not very much there. I probably added 2 milliliters to what looks like about 18 or 20 milliliters. Let that mix up a little bit. This is really interesting, quite fun. And if you can try an older version of something compared to the newer version, I highly recommend it. It's very, very educational. Now, I don't know, maybe I was crazy opening this. Might have been quite valuable but curiosity, just, you know, sometimes you just can't resist, and I couldn't resist in this case. A little bit more nuttiness now on the nose. Some raisins as well. But you open the bag of raisins and take a whiff. This is what I'm smelling. A little bit of dried apricot. Still got that lemon and a little bit of the liniment. A little bit less of that now. Old books, still there. Maybe a touch of ball glove leather. Ball glove? Ball glove leather. Baseball glove leather. Okay, well, let's try it now with water. We'll have another short word from the YouTube advertisers right here. Welcome back. This is Teacher's Highland Cream, an old version. I'm guessing 80s, 90s. If you do know, if you can recognize when that might have been from, please let me know in a comment, okay? I'll bring that again a little bit closer so you can see that. All right, so you got a good look at that. Let's try the nose now. I think we already tried the nose, didn't we? Yes, we did. The palate. Let's try the palate now. Cheers. Nuttier, a little bit more chocolate, a little bit more dried fruits. And the finish now, really getting some cherries, dried cherries, a bit of chocolate as well. The licorice is still there too, both on the palate and the finish. The peat, under the radar, but it's still there. I'm going to add just another little drop of water in there. Well, boy, I don't know if you can tell from my face. I think that this flavor needs to be recreated, perhaps in a deluxe edition of Teachers. You know, because now they would have to buy Glendronach at a higher price in order to recreate that flavor. If they can buy it, you know, they may not be able to. Oh. Toasted walnuts. A little bit more leather. It's just bringing out the dried fruit component, and yet the peat is still there, so that's nice. Carries on. The finish is roughly as long as the new version, just a little bit more complex in terms of the fruitiness. Well now, pretty nice. Is it fair to give it a score? I think so. Off the top of my head, I think I would probably give that 9 out of 10, 90 out of 100. as a blended Scotch whiskey, and maybe a blended Scotch whiskey score. Now I've got a little bit of Ardmore here next to me. So what will I do? I am going to add, first of all, to this one I'll put a little bit of the new Teachers in there, thereby adding some Ardmore to the mix. Okay, and to the Ardmore heavy present Teachers, I will add just a splash of Ardmore. Label out mark, not label back. Just a splash. Come on. Oh, yeah, that wasn't enough. There. Okay. Probably about, I don't know, 3 or 4 milliliters there. Okay. This one I did, I believe that was, I don't know, 98 or 99, the Ardmore. Triple wood peated, very, very nice. And I can say that here because it's a part of the same group, Beam Suntory. Okay, so let's see what happens with the older Teachers, with a bit of the newer Teachers added. My guess is it'll be even more complex, blending fresh fruit apples and a bit more peat together with these sherry flavors. Still very nutty and walnutty. Apples. They're in the background, but they're there. Okay, let's see. Yes. Bit of fresh apples, a little bit more peat, and yet still predominantly the sherry, dried fruit, dark fruit kind of flavors coming through, and a bit more bit more licorice on the finish. Okay, how about the extra Ardmore current version of Teacher's Highland Cream? By the way, the cream part of Highland Cream, you shouldn't think of that as cream being cream of milk, but simply a sweetness. So cream sherry. It's not like they've put milk in there or something, but it's just been created in such a way that it's sweeter. Okay, so let's see what happens here now. Well, beefed up peat on the nose. Apples are still there. Well, now a little bit peatier. Still, most people wouldn't notice the peat. A lot spicier, juicier as well. And the triple wood, well, the triple wood has some sherry puncheons. So there's a little bit of an extra fruity kick to it now. Just a hint. It's worth trying. This is great as is. It's nice with a bit of Ardmore added. The former Teachers, what can I say? If you can find some of it, buy it. And if you're in the UK, you will have probably lots of Teachers at auction, probably at very reasonable prices, since nobody cares about blended Scotch whiskey these days. If you're in the US, probably there's lots of stores that still have stock on the shelf. 43% ABV. practically natural color. More glendronach in there. I think also some very well-aged grain whiskey is used. Okay. Anyway, so that's been the Teacher's Highland Cream, the former version, versus the Teacher's Highland Cream, the present version, or relatively nearly the present. Let me know what you think of these whiskeys. If you've tried them both, that would be great. And don't forget, if you do know what age this might be, please do let me know what age, what year this might have been released. Okay? Anyway, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, please subscribe. And why not like the video? Push like. And if you're here in Korea, 봐주셔서 감사합니다. Thank you very much for watching. 구독해주시고요. Please subscribe. 그리고 좋아요 눌러주세요. Please click like. There's a little bit of Korean added. Thank you very much, and we'll take care. We'll see you and take care. See you in the next review. My name is Mark. You're watching Whiskey Whistle. Goodbye.